Okay, today's soup is going to be chicken tortilla soup. I've watched a lot of videos and I've got in my mind how I want to do it. You don't see it here, but right now I have 2 chicken breasts in my pressure cooker being poached. And those will be shredded once we're ready to add it to the soup. Okay, then we've got some ancho peppers, which is a poblano pepper that has been dried, and we smoked it and dried it. I'll add
Doesn't have to be smoked though.
about 2 full ones of that. And I've got New Mexico hatch chilies. These here will be
dried.
They're dry. They're going to be cleaned out. I will open them up and clean out the seeds, and then I will rehydrate them in some water, and then we will blend them up in a little bit. We also got some peppers. I don't have any bell peppers right now, and I have this mix of mini sweet, they're kind of a sweet pepper.
Tastes like a bell pepper.
Yeah. Okay, and we have 2 medium onions. And it calls for up to 5 cloves of garlic. These vegetables and the tomatoes here, I am going to roast on a griddle and get them toasted.
We'll show you that.
And then I will blend them up. I got chicken stock, 6 to 8 cups of chicken stock. I have a jar of my home canned black beans. And I've got 2 jars, which is about 16 ounces of mild green chilies that I canned. They're hatch chilies, yes. And then I got some dried cilantro in the back there. And if you want to thicken up your soup, we're going to use a little bit of the masa to thicken it. That'll be at the end, and we'll just see how that goes. And then I also have some Fiesta Ranch mix that we will
for our seasoning.
We'll taste it at the end and see if it needs it. And then we'll be back when we get everything started. Okay, I've got my griddle heating up. We want it good and hot. I have my mixed tomatoes. We're gonna roast them or toast them or whatever call it. And then I've got the 2 onions. I've got 4 cloves of garlic. Pretty big, so that's why I opted for that.
How come they're not skinned?
I will get that in a minute. And then I've got my peppers. Now, the reason I have not skinned these is because I want to toast them. But if you toast them on here unskinned, you might get a bitter taste from the way they're doing it. If you just put them on with the skins, and when you peel the skins off, you won't have that bitterness.
Cool.
And then put those on there. And we're going to put these on there. I think I'm going to go with my tomatoes next. Peppers can go on last. And these here are leftovers, and I don't want them going bad and throwing them out. Of course, I could feed them to the chickens, but I'd rather eat them myself. And as these get roasting and start shrinking a little bit, I'll put my peppers on there. And when we get them all nice and toasted, I'll come back and we'll show you what it all looks like. Just a little quick update. You know, you can see they're starting to brown and everything and toast up. The onion toasting up nicely.
Done. Yeah.
And then the garlic is starting to, that one doesn't show too well. Starting to toast up some. See the little brown edges? But I want it good and toasted before I take them out. And then as they're going, I'm going to take out tomatoes as they're finishing up and adding more of the little peppers in there. This one here is starting to split, so it's ready. And down below in the recipe, I will giving you alternatives to doing the fresh vegetables like this. And
buy a
so
can of this and that.
yeah, if you want to use rotel, fire roasted tomatoes and stuff, that'll all be down below. All right, we'll see you at the blender next. Okay, I just wanted to show you how these are starting to get browned in bits on them. And the tomatoes are doing the same. That one's squirted. Here's one of the garlics that's browned and roasted up, and we will peel that. Just take it and peel that off.
Can't see you.
Peel that off. Just like that. And we'll throw that in the blender with everything else. Okay, and like I said, we put nothing on this grill. It was clean
Dry.
and red dry, and I just put the vegetables on there and started browning them.
And it smells amazing in here, as you can imagine.
You can hear that.
Yeah, cracking and popping.
Yeah.
We're cooking Rice Krispies.
That one didn't pop. It's
Yeah.
not quite ready yet. These here that are popping are pretty close to being ready. All right, we'll see you at the blender for sure next time. Okay. I got these charred a little. They're not real charred, but they're good enough. We're gonna put,
Actually, you could probably do it in a broiler too if you wanted
yeah,
to.
you could broil them. I'm gonna put them in the blender along with the tomatoes.
Somebody wants it?
Yep. Okay. It's all done. We're going to blend it until it's nice and smooth, and then I am going to strain it. Just because that's what hubby wants.
Well, you got the stem ends. You may have some
skins and
skins that are kind of tough.
So we will.
Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back in a minute. Okay. Now we're going to take them. Gotta get as much of that goodness in it. And then, I don't know if you can see that very good or not, but it's pretty well blended. And we're going to strain that. And then I'm going to take the green chilies with some of the liquid that the chili's soaking in and do the same thing. We'll be back when we get to that point.
You're on?
Yeah, okay. You can put a little oil in if you want, but I don't think I'm going to today. We're going to pour this in there, get rid of any seeds and unwanted bits and pieces. That's what I want right there. And I'll do the same thing with the chilies when I'm...
We do have the heat on to...
Yeah, I'll just start heating this up.
Oh.
And I will strain it and push through all of the goodness, and a lot of the seeds and skins will stay in the strainer. But I want to push through and get all the pulp out of the tomatoes and peppers and stuff. Okay.
But do you have to do, if you want, well, you could cut the stems, but you said they'd leak all over the frying thing.
Yeah, and I just...
And then you could go with the more rustic and a rougher.
And if you don't want to go to this step, it's not that big of a problem. I watched one person do it. They just...
Well, let's just go ahead and leave that and let's go over, and we're ready to do the chilies, right?
Getting ready to do the chilies.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay, now we're going to put, we're going to put the charred onion and garlic in there.
Grab them by the top.
I think I'm going to do those separate, I think.
Okay.
Grab this by the top. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid here.
This is the chilies. Show them that, damn you, to see that job.
The chili, I just had it soaking in hot water.
For about 20 minutes, we boiled water, poured it right over the chilies, and let it set.
I'm going to grind these up, put them in this with tomato sauce, and then we'll do the chilies. We'll be right back when we do the chilies.
Yeah, it's kind of noisy.
Yeah. there's the chili, or the onion and the garlic. I'm gonna go pour that in.
How's that smell?
I love the smell of garlic.
Yeah, that don't have to be strained. You can just dump that right into the pot.
Yep.
Every bit of that's good. But that's because we already skinned the garlic.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Get back on there. Now we're gonna fish out the chilies.
Want me to pour it through a strainer?
No, because I need some of the liquid.
That's what I was thinking. Could pour it through a strainer into a bowl.
Well, see, these weren't dried like the other ancho chilies. They're green. They're still green. The way we
Process them.
process them.
Oops.
Woo.
Yep.
Cloth right there next to you. Let me see. Yeah, I got one more in there. Yep. And we want to put a little of this liquid in. You can really smell the smoke.
Yeah, I was noticing that.
And then we'll get it blended. And then we will do the same as we did with the tomatoes.
Yeah, we'll be back soon.
Yep, we'll be back at the stove. I wanted to show you the color of the chilies before we go pour that
Almost
in
looks
there.
like, I don't know, chocolate.
Yeah, it's like mole.
Mole, yeah.
All right, we'll see you over there.
Oh, by the way, here's the chicken
Yeah.
breast that we cooked in the pressure cooker.
Let me bring it over here.
You can tell that.
I sprinkled some chili powder, some Fiesta seasoning on top of it. I put 4 cups of water in the bottom of my electric pressure cooker, and I pressure cooked it for 20 minutes.
This does not set in the water. It sets on a tray above the water.
Yeah,
so it's steamed.
Yeah, so we will.
We'll be cutting this up, shredding it, and that goes in later.
Yep. So I poured that chili sauce in here. I left the tomato bits in there too, because I mean I go through there and I press out every bit of goodness.
Let me see what it
that
looks
I
like.
can.
Yeah, there it is.
And see there, and just stir, and then I'll take some of this liquid, put it in with the skins and stuff, and run it through. And
the cool part about the liquid is if you get too much, you just cook it down a little longer and it thickens it back up. So
and the liquid there, the chilies were soaked in it. They add lots of flavor.
There's a lot of flavor in that liquid.
If you can see the
Pulp.
the seeds and the skins off the tomatoes and the other stuff. And okay, we'll be back when we get ready to put the rest of the ingredients in.
Okay.
So I got all of that drained and in the pot, all the tomatoes, onions, and everything.
Yeah, actually, that's all that was left out of all of that for pulp.
Yep. That knife here, and these are my home canned chilies.
You want the
I'm
liquid?
gonna do a little bit. No, I'm gonna
Well, you're gonna have to have the liquid because you got the.
empty the strainer there.
You're gonna just pour them through there.
Pour it in there.
Whoops.
Oh, it's got a hole in it.
Yep.
Sorry.
Neither one of us now.
Didn't think about it. Get that hole over there.
Where? I sure can't walk around.
You get the hole.
Okay.
Fun of life.
Oh, this is our outtake.
Yeah.
And we don't cut out outtakes, so you get the benefit.
Yeah. So.
Here, let me show you what we're doing here. Hang on a minute. Yeah, we'll show you here. This is the chilies. We're draining them.
Yeah, I'm just breaking them up a little bit, and then draining out the liquid.
Most of it, a little bit of it ain't gonna hurt anything, right?
All right.
Okay.
And then we're gonna
Just a little bit.
put that in the pot. And my home canned black beans do not have a lot of liquid in them, so
Do they have seasoning?
Yes, this has a little bit of Fiesta Ranch seasoning in them.
So,
but I'm gonna.
if you're buying regular, just canned black beans without seasoning, you can tell when you get to the end whether or not you need to add a little bit more.
And this is a pint. The original recipe called for 2 15-ounce cans, but I'm good with this. And the other original recipes, a lot of them, not all of them, call for corn. We don't eat a lot of corn here.
No, we don't really do it.
So I won't be putting corn in it. And then
Almost looks like the base for a Mex-Tex chili or an enchilada sauce.
Enchilada sauce without the beans.
That
That's how I
dark.
make my enchilada sauce.
Yeah, that's
Is
looking awesome.
With the, everything.
Yeah, when we do that video, you'll be able to see all that.
Now I'm going to pour in my, I got about six cups of broth here.
Oh, you still didn't get it all. I'm surprised after last time you stopped. Anyhow,
Get my hand up.
ready for the chicken?
Okay, yep, and now we're going to add the, you can shred it or you can chop it however you like. We like good pieces of chunks.
And it's going to break up in there as it cooks.
And okay, there. Now we bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we may add a little masa to it because for a thickener.
Does it seem a little thin?
To me it does.
Well, by the time you boil and simmer, you're going to lose
Yeah.
some of that. 'Cause remember I was telling you I didn't want to make so much. We always have so much left over, but look how much you made again.
Yeah. My grandson will love it.
There you
I'll
go.
send it home with Diane.
Ah, I see.
So, yeah, we'll
Okay.
come back later when we're about ready to serve. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of dried
When we get to the
cilantro
end,
to
when
it.
if we add anything, we'll come back and do it live.
Okay.
All right. See you then.
Hi, and welcome to the table. Today we're having my version of chicken tortilla soup with hatched chilies. And black beans and you can add corn or hominy or anything like that.
Yes, that sounds like something that you would find in the being a Southwestern
Yeah.
style.
Especially the corn, but as we don't do corn.
Right.
Corn chips is as close as you get.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not
Most of the
100% against corn. We just don't eat corn in its raw form or syrup form.
You get a couple of the tortilla chips to try it.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, I mean, it's tortilla soup.
Oh,
So,
Cheese, and you can garnish it with cheese and guacamole, and you could probably put onions in it. And
a little hot sauce.
in case that chili's not hot enough for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It got a little bite. It's not bad.
a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's the well, I think it says my chilies say that they're mild, but I don't think they're quite mild.
I always wonder who gets to decide whether it's mild, medium, or hot. 'Cause
Did he put it in his mouth and then put it in the jar?
right? Right? I mean, because we know one fat next to another can be totally different.
That's right.
That would be a fun job, though.
Okay. And there you go. That's what I'm eating. I don't know what she's eating.
Oh, you know what? I need cheese on that bite. That should have a little bit of everything. Wow.
It's really good.
It is really good. It does have a really yummy Mexican kind of flavor.
New Mexican.
New Mexican. There
Yeah,
we go.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there we go.
Yep.
I really like the chicken, and I actually do like the crunch that the chips add. I
Do
didn't know
you?
how I was going to feel about that, but
I thought that they were designed to dissolve in there and just kind of thicken it, but you saying they stay.
mine, well, so far, I imagine they will.
By the time we get to the bottom.
Right. I'll have some of both. But I like a crunch in my soup every now and then, too.
Oh, good.
Is it?
That's
Okay.
really good.
Very good.
Okay. Hope you try it.
Thanks for coming.
Definitely.